It was Solskjaer's post-match press conference though that was getting most of the heat on Twitter in the immediate aftermath. He was saying things like, you know how far you've come when Manchester City are putting out their full team against you in the Carabao Cup.
That was embarrassing. That is just the worst thing a Manchester United manager has ever said. It's horrific. Like to think that is now the level that Manchester United gauge themselves by. That
David Moyes said some stuff, but go on.
Like, I'm obviously being tongue-in-cheek here, but
not much.
Like, I mean, how we all know that they've fallen as a power, but like, do we not all have this notion that that this is a temporary thing for Manchester United, that they will eventually clamber back up that ladder to a position where they're contending for titles within the next few years?
They'll start getting value for the money they're spending on their wage bill. That's all that needs to happen. All that really needs to happen in football in England is that Manchester United get value for the money they're spending on their wage bill, and they'll be fine. They'll be one of the top 3 teams. And football generally follows the money, but it's not following the money in this case.
Let me ask you a question on Solskjaer. When Solskjaer eventually gets sacked as Manchester United manager, how many Premier League clubs will be interested in his services?
I don't know. Is it going to be none? Is that what you're saying?
I would say none.
I mean, yeah, you would expect that the next gig after that would have to be bring a team up and be in charge of a culture, because he's not going to get the Nigel Pearson gigs.
No.
Nigel Pearson's got a gig now.
He's got that niche boxed off.
Wow, this is
by Sam Allardyce.
It's like, and that's like 10 years of getting massive money every year, no matter what you want.
Yeah, he's going to manage in all the shit stadiums around England.
Yeah, and some of the shiny new ones that they're going to build on the back of him keeping them up. I don't know. Probably none, right? Probably none. There might be some championship sides who are like...
So why is he still manager of Manchester United?
Because he is a club legend, and the club have decided that they need a human shield to prevent the fans from properly organising against the management and ownership of the club. So you started to hear some stuff about the Glazers again. You started to hear Ed Woodward begin to be a lightning rod for what the fans think is wrong, and they're not going to blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So he acts as like literally a human shield to take all of the crap that's come in the direction of the people behind who are pulling the strings and running the club.
He's a sponge for the criticism, and he is the representation of Manchester United. Like, there was plenty of Glazer out chants at the weekend, and he says that he noticed them. He says, as a club, we've got to stick together. We've got to be united. We are a family. I can only say from when I've been here, I've been backed by the owners, I've been backed by Ed, and they're supporting me. Then the fans just have to believe me when I say we're doing loads of good things behind the scenes. We're going in the right direction. I'm sure that's pretty hard for a lot of Manchester United fans to actually listen to and fully believe at the moment. Now, granted, it's a big win against Norwich, but we all know what happens next for Manchester United. They lose a game that they're supposed to win, or they draw from a position of dominance in a game or something like that. And you will rinse and you will repeat till the end of the season.
What about Liverpool next?
Well, okay, so it's bizarre almost looking at what's happened over the last month at Manchester United, going from beating Manchester City to losing to Arsenal and then putting in a performance like that, hammering Norwich. Now, I mean, Manchester United are the only team so far this season to take points off Liverpool. Like, this is another strange feather in the cap of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who's got a very strange hat developing there for himself.
The way they're going to get rid of Solskjaer is if they get an absolute hammering next Sunday.
Question for you, if you're a Man United fan, are you short-term paining a 5 or 6-0 for the long-term gain of getting Pochettino, or are you like, no matter what happens, I cannot take getting hammered by this team at Anfield?
Well, cast your mind back to that game last December. So that's
back into it in the second half.
And
what was the score?
It was 3-1. It was 3-1 in the end to Liverpool. So Liverpool gifted United a goal. Lingard, a rare mistake from Alisson, and then Shaqiri came off the bench and scored a couple of goals. But I remember the lead up to that game. There's a lot of United supporters in our office, and I'm not going to name names, but some of them said, I would take
Tommy.
I would take a hiding. No, it wasn't Tommy actually. I would take a hiding off Liverpool if it meant the end of Jose Mourinho. So I wonder would the same apply this weekend. But see, the problem here is United fans see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a club legend, which he is for what he did on the pitch.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely,
Liverpool fans are like, listen, let me tell you a story about Graham Souness, right? Let me just tell you a bit of a story about him. And even Kenny the second and third times.
Why do we keep bigging up this Manchester United job
Because it's one of the biggest jobs in world football. You get paid loads of money, and you've got a massive transfer budget, and you've got a. Well, it would be if you organised it properly. Look at the history of the club. It's like the Liverpool gig wasn't that great a gig until Brendan Rodgers made it a good gig, Rafa Benitez made it a good gig, and
look what happened.
Klopp made it a great gig.
But there was reorganisation above their head. There was better recruitment. Manchester United is not ripe for picking as a manager who wants to make the club better at the moment.
Well, if you come in and you have your recruitment team and your scouting team in place, and you know exactly how that's supposed to work, then you're just saying these are the teams, these are the players that we need, and we're going to get rid of. Like we have big assets that we can sell. You will get money for Jesse Lingard from some team newly promoted to the Premier League. You will get money for Martial if you want to sell him. You'll get money for Pogba. You'll get money for De Gea. You'll be able to recalibrate that squad pretty quickly with the right philosophy behind you.
Yeah. Plus, if I know a lot of people say, "Oh, look, Solskjaer is the victim of what's gone on at United before him," and some of that may be true. But you can't tell me that if Pochettino was given the United job tomorrow, he wouldn't do a better job than Solskjaer. At times you watch United, you just don't know what their plan is. Now, you know what they'll do at Anfield next Sunday, where they'll just try and play in the counter-attack. That's fine. Because
they're okay
players.
with that, yeah.
But I don't buy it. Like, I wouldn't read anything into the Norwich game, because Norwich are hopeless. Norwich were everyone's favourites to go down, and that's exactly where they're going to go. Not because Daniel Farke's a bad manager, but they just don't have the quality, and they play a certain way which suited United. But Pochettino, if he was to come in, would have to be stronger than Solskjaer. But nobody wants to speak out against the Glazers or against Ed Woodward, because then you lose your job.
Yeah, well, that's
Solskjaer, it must be killing him. He's, he loves the club, and he's just looking on, and he's probably thinking, I need players. Ed, any chance you could do this for me? And Woodward is too busy trying to sort out that noodle sponsorship.
Well, he's got a team to sort out the noodle sponsorship, and they're doing a great job. That commercial team at Manchester United are best in class. Which
well, how come Ed Woodward is never linked to other clubs? How come other football clubs don't come in looking to get the services of Ed Woodward?
Right, 20 more minutes past 9. Remaining in Spain.